At my sister's wedding, I gave my name at the entrance, and the staff froze. Ma'am, you're not on the guest list. Not only was I supposed to be there, I was supposed to be her maid of honor. I thought it was a mistake until a photographer showed me footage from inside the bridal suite. And when I saw who was in that room with her, I understood exactly why she didn't want me at the wedding. I arrived at the Crystal Garden Resort at exactly 4:12 p.m., clutching the gold envelope that contained the gift I had spent 2 months designing for my sister. The parking lot shimmered under strings of warm lights, and from where I stood, the grand wedding hall looked like something out of a fairy tale. Music drifted out from the open doors in soft waves. Violins, laughter, the clinking of glasses. My sister had always dreamed of a royal wedding, and somehow she managed to get her wish. What I didn't know was that her fairy tale had no place for me. I stepped toward the entrance, an excited knot in my stomach. The last time we had seen each other, she had hugged me tightly and said, "You're my sister, my backbone. I want you with me every moment on my big day." But people say love is blind. I didn't know hers was also selective. 3 staff members stood at the registration podium with iPads in their hands. They smiled at guests walking in, until I approached. "Name, please," he asked politely. I smiled. "Alina." He typed it in, then again and again. His smile faded. The woman standing beside him glanced at the screen, then at me. She whispered something to him. They both stiffened. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but your name is not on the guest list." I frowned. "That's impossible. I'm her sister." He checked again. "I'm sorry, but your name is not here." Something inside me sank. "Sophia," I said clearly. "Bride's older sister, maid of honor." All 3 staff members exchanged looks. That's when I knew something was very, very wrong. The coordinator arrived moments later, a thin woman in a sleek black dress, clutching a walkie-talkie as if it were a lifeline. "What seems to be the issue?" she asked. The staff whispered to her, rapidly, nervously. She turned to me with a strained smile. "I'm sorry, ma'am," she said, "but the bride requested changes to the guest list this morning, and your name was removed." I stared at her. "Removed? Why?" She swallowed. "She said you make her uncomfortable, and she didn't want any tension on her wedding day." Tension. The word hit like a slap. I laughed bitterly. I picked her dress. I planned half of this wedding. I organized the bridesmaids. Why would she? The coordinator didn't meet my eyes. I stepped back, my heartbeat thundering in my chest. Guests walked past me without noticing. Some stared, others whispered. Being excluded hurts. Being excluded by your own sister breaks something inside you. I turned, ready to leave, because even humiliation has limits, when I heard a small voice. "Auntie Sophia?" I turned to see my niece running toward me in her tiny flower girl dress. She hugged me with all the strength in her little body. "I knew you'd come," she whispered. "Mama said you're not coming, but I told her that's not true." My throat tightened. Before I could respond, a bridesmaid rushed in. "Come on, you're not supposed to be out." She froze when she saw me. Her expression said everything. I wasn't supposed to be anywhere. Not in the hall, not near the guests, not even near my niece. Something inside me snapped, quietly, but completely. I gently let go of my niece and whispered, "Go inside, sweetheart. I'll be right behind you." A lie. To protect her from the truth. As I walked away, someone called out, "Are you Sophia, the bride's sister?" I turned. It was the wedding photographer, a tall man with a camera stropped across his chest and an iPad in his hand. He looked conflicted. "Yes," I said. "Why?" He hesitated, then sighed. "You need to see something." He led me to a quiet corner behind the floral arch and handed me the iPad. What played on the screen changed everything. It was footage from the bride's suite, captured for wedding memories. My sister stood in front of the mirror, getting her hair done, and standing beside her, close, too close, was my ex-fiancé. Daniel, the man who left me 6 months ago without a reason. The man who ghosted me 3 weeks before our wedding date. The man who shattered me and walked away. I felt the blood drain from my face. In the footage, he whispered something into my sister's ear. She laughed. Then she said, "Remove Sophia from the list. She's unpredictable today. I don't want her ruining anything." Daniel smirked. My sister nodded. The coordinator wrote my name down and scratched a line across it. "That's all," the photographer said softly. "I thought you should know." I couldn't breathe. My ex. My sister. But the story didn't start here. The betrayal had begun long before this wedding, before the seating charts, before the dress fittings, before the invitations. It began 6 months ago, when Daniel disappeared. We had planned everything: a winter wedding, a honeymoon in Bali, a new apartment with a sea-facing balcony. Then one night, he stopped replying, blocked my number, blocked my social media, blocked my existence. I collapsed for weeks. My sister comforted me endlessly, or so I thought. Now, standing outside her wedding hall, the truth unfolded slowly and painfully. She knew where he went. She knew why he left. She knew everything, because she was the reason. I walked back to the entrance, my steps heavy but determined. "Let me in," I told the coordinator. She shook her head nervously. "The bride, I'm her sister," I said calmly, "and trust me, she wants to see me." They hesitated, then stepped aside. I walked into the hall. Every head turned. Whispers rose like a tide. There she was, my sister, in her shimmering white gown, adjusting her veil. Her smile vanished when she saw me. "What are you doing here?" she hissed, walking toward me. "We need to talk," I said evenly. "No," she snapped, "not today. You're not going to ruin my—" "I saw the video." Her face paled. The bridesmaids stopped moving. The music dimmed in my ears, but I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I didn't tremble. "You removed me from your wedding because Daniel asked you to. Why?" She looked away, then said something so cruel it shocked even herself. "Because he never loved you, Sophia. He chose me." The hall seemed to tilt. "He left you because he realized we had better chemistry. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd break." I stared at her. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel hate. I felt clarity. Pure, sharp clarity. "You didn't protect me," I said quietly. "You replaced me." She looked down, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't the broken one. She was. Because betrayal born of insecurity destroys the betrayer far more than the betrayed. The groom appeared, confused. "What's going on?" he asked. I handed him the iPad. "Watch," I said. He watched the footage, the whispering, the laughter, the instruction to remove me. His face twisted in disgust. "You lied to me," he said to my sister, voice shaking. "You told me the video wasn't real." So she knew. She had been covering it up. Daniel entered at that moment, shirt half unbuttoned like he owned the place. He froze when he saw me. "Sophia," he smirked. "Didn't expect—" The groom punched him. Hard. The hall erupted, guests gasped, music stopped, chaos unfolded. But in the middle of everything, I stood still, finally understanding something. You don't lose family or love when betrayal happens. You lose illusions and gain freedom. The groom canceled the ceremony. My sister collapsed, crying, not out of guilt, but because her perfect day was ruined. Daniel was thrown out. Her friends turned their backs, her bridesmaids walked away. And I walked to my niece, kneeling beside her. She hugged me tightly. "I told Mama to invite you," she whispered. "I know, sweetheart." "Are you leaving?"